Hello, I'm Tom Hylands. I'm an Explorer Scout leader in West Sussex, and this is my 60-second Scouter.
3, 2, 1!
So here's the cup of mystery. I have no idea what Mike is going to ask me. So good luck, I suppose. So number one, best thing to do in Iceland. So I actually have a bit of a fascination with Iceland, the country, not the shop. And I've been there with scouts, without scouts, and it's actually scouting that introduced me to Iceland when we went to Reykjavik for a pre-trip trip. If such a thing can be said. My favourite thing in Iceland is probably seeing the Northern Lights. I think if you get the opportunity, they're the most incredible thing, and they change every single time. So you don't know what you're going to see. The only thing you have to hope for is good weather, which is easier said than done in Iceland. Best scouting memory. There's been a lot. For me, it has to be 1st of August 2007 at the World Scout Jamboree in Essex, having 40,000 people waving their scarves above their heads, reciting their promise in their own national language, and just, you know, that whole coming together to celebrate 100 years of scouting. That's something that will stay with me forever. One tip all people who take photos should know. If you're taking a photo, I think the most important thing you need to do is use the rule of thirds. So if you're using your phone, turn on your grid in your settings and try and line things up on the thirds, and it will just automatically make your photos look so much better. Best campfire you've attended. So for me, it has to be the international campfire at Scoutadelic International Scout Centre in Switzerland, because you have a number of different countries all there, and they bring their own song, their own skit, their own traditions to that campfire, and it's unlike anything you'll ever have on one of your own camps in this country. So absolutely try and do international campfires when you get a chance. Why is scouting still relevant today? Scouting's still relevant today because it shows what the world can be. It shows young people working together. Doesn't matter where they come from, who they are, what their beliefs are, what their background is. All of that goes out the window in scouting, and everyone comes together to create a better world. And I think that's what the world needs more than anything right now. Best traditional skill I know. Best traditional skill I know. Wow, it's got to be firelighting. I mean, who doesn't like firelighting? It's useful in all sorts of scenarios, it's great fun, and it brings people together. So, very obvious, but it's still the best and most fun one. Best badge I've earned. So, the best badge that I've earned, I would say, is my commendation for good service. It's something that was slightly unexpected, and kind of just gives you a reminder of the impact that you do make on people and the reason of why you volunteer in scouting. So I think that one is most proud, but then also Camp Cook. Okay, what does scout content do? So as well as being an Explorer Scout leader, I also run a active support unit called Scout Content, and what we do is we bring together a number of people that are all professionals in their own field of photography, video, content writing, web, digital, and we go and support either big events, small events, districts, groups, counties. We help them tell the story of scouting and show the world exactly what it is to be doing scouting in that area. 3 things you would take on a deserted island. Okay, so 3 things. I'm going to assume that it doesn't have phone signal. Mike's shaking his head, so it definitely doesn't have phone signal. So I'm not taking my mobile phone to phone for help. I would take a camera, because might as well document it when you're there, and I mean it passes the time. Some rope, because it's useful to have some rope. You can use that to build some stuff, and a knife, because a knife you can then use to help create fire, help build shelter, and use it for anything in a survival situation. So those are the 3 things, 1 fun and a couple more practical. What positive thing happened to you in 2020? I think whilst everyone knows what happened in 2020 was terrible for the world, for me it gave me a chance to slow down in life and actually have a think about myself for once. It made me recognise what I wanted in life, and it gave me the space to actually have some thought. And I think it also brought people together in scouting a lot more. We've had a weekly quiz running for over 18 months now, and actually some friendships have really got stronger during 2020 despite everything else that was happening. Favourite meal on a campfire? So, favourite meal on a campfire has to be hunter's stew. It's one that growing up in my scout group, that was the contentious item on the menu every camp, but it had to be on the menu, and it depended how you cooked it, whether it tasted good or not, but most of the time it was really good and really tasty, full of goodness. And to this day, if going on camp with that group, it's still on the menu. Fondest Brownsea Island memory. So I've been to Brownsea Island a few times with scouts, with some different scout groups, but the one that I remember most is in 2009 I came to Brownsea Island to film for an ITV show, and we camped on the original campsite with a few celebrities for a night. Had great fun kind of sharing the scouting story with them, telling them what scouting was to us, and just having good fun. And I think that's what Brownsea Island is, and that's what scouting is. It's about making memories and having fun. Favourite hobby? So photography is probably my favourite hobby. I just love being able to try and see something through a lens and trying to create something and challenging myself to see the world in a slightly different perspective, and it's a great way of having a creative outlet. And the final one from the cup of mystery. What got you into scouting? So I joined scouts at the age of 10 when my good friend at the time at primary school, Bill, said, do you want to come to this club on a Friday night? And I said yes, and I've never left. So yeah, Bill, you are to blame for a lifelong passion of scouting, and for all of these amazing adventures that I've been able to do. So thank you, Bill. And that's the cup of mystery done.